Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Stone Shields behind the scenes producing his first live show here at Chat Sports. So everyone will be nice to Stone, I promise you guys. We'll break down the latest here on the Dallas Cowboys. Lots of things we'll be getting into. We're going to begin here with who will be quarterback 2 for the Dallas Cowboys. Type in TL for Trey Lance or CR for Cooper Rush. Who do you think will end up emerging as the quarterback 2 for the Dallas Cowboys this upcoming season? Now, this is not who you want to end up emerging, but who you think will end up being the guy for that job. Two very different types of quarterbacks, by the way. Trey Lance is the much more athletic, arm talent, upside. He could be anything. It could even be a boat. Cooper Rush is the steady backup from that perspective. By the way, it is definitely not live. So let's pause and get me off screen and go to black. Might be a YouTube end. I think this is a YouTube end here. So go ahead and just push it to black and stop the stream. Welcome into the live edition of the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We got Stone Shields behind the scenes for today's live show for the first time. Happy to have you guys all tuned in. So everyone be nice to Stone for today's first ever live show he's done at Chat Sports. The pinned comment on today's show. Who do you think will end up being QB2? TL for Trey Lance, CR for Cooper Rush. Let me know in the comment section of today's video who you think will end up being QB2. I will do my best to keep an eye on the live chat. The YouTube side on our end is having issues in terms of it took 5 minutes for the video to go live. We actually did hit start at 3:50 Eastern time, and it just kind of never went through. So if it gets a little laggy, don't freak out. That would be a big reason why. But I see the comments coming in. Bladovic says TL in there. Who do you think ends up being QB2? Dallas wants it to be Trey Lance because they've invested more in him. He was a fourth-round pick, essentially. Cooper Rush was, nothing. Who do you think will end up being QB2? Get those votes in, both in the comments section and in the pinned poll. Then we'll get to the super chat here momentarily from Skeptical Fan. 77% are voting for Trey Lance. 76% voting for Trey Lance. 24% voting for Cooper Rush. Bladovic says TL. Nick says TL. Daniel says TL. Michael says TL. Bruce and Clayton all typing in their TLs. A super chat from Skeptical Fan, who I believe, if my memory serves correctly, which it's not as great as it used to be as I get older. I feel like an old man saying that, but it's true. I think he got a similar super thanks we'll feature on today's mailbag. Says Cowboys will win their next Super Bowl in 2035. I don't want to wait 10 years, though, is the thing. I would rather have it sooner than that, although it's not always how it always goes. At least to get one in 10 years. I guess that's better than most teams will end up facing, but appreciate that, Skeptical Fan. We are doing, once again, a Madden sim on today's stream, following in, we can call it what it was, unbelievable, unrealistic upset by the Cowboys against the 49ers. It is the Falcons that the Cowboys hit the road to take on. Hopefully no watermelon kick required for the comeback effort. Who we got winning? C for the Cowboys, F for the Falcons. Let me know who you've got winning in today's sim. As a reminder, we do have a super chat menu for you guys on today's show. First up, any super chat equals a shout out. Now, that includes Super Fans $2. We'll show you some love. The other item pricing today, $20 is a shot, $50 is a beer bong, or a tortilla slap. You can pick one of those for the $50. We'll spread them out. $100, you get all three things. So it's a freebie, basically. A bong, a slap, and a shot. And that sounds fun as far as I'm concerned. So that is today's Super Chat menu for you guys. We will also have quite a few rumors on Cowboys Legends in today's show. So I've talked about doing this in years past. I think this is the year to do it. I think it's time to unveil the Mount Rushmore of Cowboys Legends. You should know what that is. Those are the players who they once played for the Cowboys. Therefore, they are Cowboys Legends. Were they actually good players? No. That's what makes them Cowboys Legends. So, name a Cowboys legend for me in the comment section. Example, Dez Bryant, too good to be a Cowboys legend. Devin Smith, great name as a Cowboys. Not actually good football players. Just guys like Lance Lenore. That's a good one right there. Tony Romo, he's too good. Top 5 quarterback in franchise history. Terrence Williams, pretty close to it. Gallup actually probably is a little bit too good. Taco Charlton's a good one. Bobby Carpenter works. Those guys were just not very good, which is how things tend to go. Eric Williams was too good. Too good player. We're talking about like not good players. It's like name a random Cowboys player. It's that, but you're not picking good ones. Quincy Carter, great one. Shante Carver, you guys got it. Brandon Weeden, a lot of those quarterbacks over the years. Lucky Whitehead, Kavika Pittman, Bobby Carpenter, Chaz Green. You know, Chaz Green spent like a decade in the NFL. As bad as Chaz Green was, let me make sure I get my years right here. Chaz Green was on an NFL roster up until the 2021 season, so not quite a decade. But he was with the Saints, Raiders, Broncos, Colts, and Steelers after he flamed out. He got all the way through the 2022 preseason, and then he was done. Kind of crazy, right? Emmett's too good. Kellen Moore is a great Cowboys legend. Drew Bledsoe's kind of close. Mike White, Patrick Creighton, Ben DiNucci, Victor Butler. That's a good one. That is a deep cut there, OG Rungtad. Cooper Rush after he leaves. Jamil Showers is on the Mount Rushmore. I guess maybe it's the Ring of Honor. Daniel Wise, good one as well. Quincy Carter, always a popular one. See, Michael Irvin was too good. He was way too good. But not good football players. Back to Skeptical Fans Super Chat. I got a question related to it. What year will the Cowboys win another Super Bowl? Alan Hearns is a good one too. Bryce Butler, Daniel Bueller, good ones. Kickers aren't people though, so I don't know if he's eligible. What year will the Cowboys finally win another Super Bowl? Is it? It's not this year. I don't think we're. There are some 2025 comments. I'm not buying it. 2042. Oof. How old would I be at that point? I'd be very old. I kind of don't want that. I guess I'd be in my 40s. Sounds not fun. 2036, 2027. Not this year. Ooh, Ecuador means it's after I die. I hope not. 2024, 2055, 2036, 2029, 2026. Whatever year you choose on Madden. Look, they're hot in Madden right now. They've been playing some great ball that makes no sense. And I think it would be the funniest thing ever is if they lose in the opening round of the playoffs. Although at this rate, they might get the number 1 seed to bye. They have the tiebreaker over the Niners and the Detroit Lions. It's crazy. 2060, 2026, 2026, 2030, 2055. Boy, a lot of long years out there. All right. We will get to today's live show here momentarily, but the goal is to get to a 50% like ratio. Now, we are in the live audience right now, we're at about 170, give or take, so got a little bit of work to do. Not a ton of work, but there is still work to do. We're just under 50 on the like side. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, like today's video. It should be a staple of what you do here when you're watching the Cowboys Report. Always like the video. Helps us continue to grow and hire more people like we hired Stone. Coming up on today's live show, we're going to run through the latest Dallas Cowboys news and rumors. We'll have a mailbag for you as well. Lots of super thanks to get into on today's show. So if you want to guarantee yourself a spot, make sure you super chat. We'll do some cut candidates as well. Look through some names who could end up being dumped by the Cowboys between now and the start of the season. And, of course, our Cowboys versus Falcons Madden sim, all coming up here live on the Cowboys Report. On this edition of the Cowboys Report, it's kind of a Cowboys legend theme. Randall Cobb's potential return, Cedrick Wilson trade rumors, the latest on Stephon Gilmore, he's talking again, and a surprise roster boost the Cowboys didn't think they were going to get, ended up getting. So before we get into those, since it is a Cowboys legend theme, I want you to name a Cowboys legend in the comment section. Remember, it is the person is someone who's not actually a great player. It's someone who played for the Cowboys, wasn't very good, but did play for the Cowboys, thus become a Cowboys legend. First up is the Randall Cobb potential reunion here. Blogging the Boys suggested the Cowboys look to re-sign Cobb to potentially help add some veteran wide receiver depth. And in general, I am not opposed to adding some veteran wide receiver help. The wide receiver room right now, it's not in the best shape. For being outside of CeeDee Lamb, they're one injury away, knock on wood, from being in dire straits. Brandon Cooks played fine, but he's kind of a maybe declining player, but does bring speed. Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin. Are you banking on big-time breakouts from those guys? Jalen Brooks mixed in there, Ryan Flournoy. So I get the general interest in adding help at wide receiver. My issue is this. Is Randall Cobb help? Seriously, is he? He wasn't good last year for the Jets. He wasn't good the year before that with the Packers. He wasn't good the year before that also with the Packers. He got paid by Houston and was a colossal, and by the way, is always injured. 6 missed games, 4 missed games, 5 missed games, 6 missed games. Did have a really good season back in 2019 with the Dallas Cowboys. That was Dak and the Cowboys offense got Randall Cobb paid. Kind of like they did with Cedrick Wilson, we'll get to here in a little bit on today's show. But he wasn't great with the Packers in 2018, serviceable in 2016, excuse me. But this is an older player whose production has fallen off a cliff. It's not realistic to think that that's suddenly going to improve drastically with the way he's played and the injuries his body has sustained. So would you bring back Randall Cobb? I think my answer is pretty clear, but I will leave it up to you guys as a democracy standpoint there. Would you bring back Randall Cobb? This is the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. When it comes to potentially bringing back Randall Cobb, like Blogging the Boys suggested, I have zero desire to do so. I think he might be done in the NFL altogether. Cobb doesn't benefit what the Cowboys are trying to do right now. He only helps as a slot receiver. The Cowboys have CeeDee Lamb as a slot receiver. I think Kevontae Turpin can be a backup gadget emergency guy, plus Cooks can play there too. So Dallas is in good shape at the spot where you would hypothetically benefit from Cobb being there. Most importantly, he's just not good anymore. He hasn't had any signs of production over his last 8 seasons outside of 1 year. 1 good year in his last 8 years. That's not the type of player you should be pursuing at this stage of their NFL careers and paths and all of that. Now, to be fair, it was with Dak, so maybe give him a little bit benefit of the doubt on that front. But in general, why would I want to add old, declining players to my roster? How does that make me better? How does that benefit me as an organization? If Randall Cobb was 27, different conversation. Was a good signing when Dallas did it 5 years ago. Now, I don't think it makes any sense for the organization at all. Now, we are getting closer to 200,000 subscribers here at the Cowboys Report and inching further and further closer to 190 as part of that. Hit that sub button for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos every single day, multiple times per day, right here on the Cowboys Report. Cowboys trade rumors coming in from Bleacher Report. They had proposed Dallas trade for wide receiver Cedrick Wilson to reunite him with Dak Prescott. After all, Wilson's best years came with Dallas and with Dak, or I should say, his best year, period. I had interest in adding Wilson during NFL free agency. I kind of thought that would be a classic Cowboys move. Bring him back on a super cheap contract, 1 year, little to no guaranteed money. But now that that has not happened and he signed with the Saints, I think that dream is dead. I question the fit in large part because of the contract. Wilson got a 2-year, $5.75 million deal. That was like double what I thought he was going to end up getting. And because of how the Jones boys operate their business, I'd be surprised if they had interest in bringing him back at the contract involved. Plus, if they wanted to, they could have done it already. So would you trade for Cedrick Wilson? T for trade, P for pass. We'll spend some more time on this, the player, the fit, etc. But I do want to hear from you guys in the comment section of today's video. It's T for trade or P for pass. Wilson's had, talk about outlier season, right? 2021. Awesome year. 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Is technically one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history, if you ignore sample size, because he works on trick plays for whatever reason. Didn't produce very much in Miami. Did produce more this past year, but it's 22 catches for 296 yards, a couple decent plays. The Dolphins got him, and then they got Tyreek Hill, and his role suddenly kind of fell off a cliff. Could he be your wide receiver 3? Maybe. His production last year was really no different than Jalen Tolbert, and given their overall career arcs, I think you'd have some expectation of Tolbert continuing to improve upward, and maybe not for Cedrick Wilson, but he offers you special team ability, and worse is he can be a wide receiver 5 for you, and that's why I thought there could be some interest. And the Saints, I think, gave him more money than what Dallas would have hypothetically offered. Here's how the contract breaks down if traded, right? Right now, the Saints are paying him $1.85 million on their salary cap. Pretty cheap. Dallas would only owe $1.35. That is the same savings for the Saints this year, although they would still owe $1 million on the 2025 salary cap. The cap hit for Dallas in 2025 with no real guaranteed money is $2.9 million. I think because of the Saints having already paid Cedrick Wilson and viewing him as a piece on that roster, I would be surprised if it became available. If somehow he gets cut, which I would also be surprised by, different conversation, depending on how your current youngsters, Tolbert, Brooks, Turpin, even Flournoy, look in training camp and the preseason. Now, you can get the Cowboys NFL Draft Hat over at chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft Hat. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show, plus a little clickable link for you guys over there in the other corner of today's on-demand video. I would definitely check out the website if you have interest, because you can kind of see the 3D effect that gets used there, but it's not as clear on YouTube, and you want to be able to zoom in and look at it. So just go over to chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft Hat and take a peek. Wouldn't be a Cowboys Legends show without discussing the latest on Stephon Gilmore, who, for his career, is too good, but only spent 1 year in Dallas after all. He spoke at Tom Brady's Patriot Hall of Fame induction with Mass Live, was asked to begin, hey, could you come back to New England? Gilmore says, you never know. I'll weigh any options. This is a place that I played great ball, just letting it play out how it's going to be. Now, Gilmore, most importantly, kind of buried, I think, in the article itself from Mass Live, was that he said he didn't have any contact, or I should say, hasn't had any contact with the Patriots. Okay. His market doesn't seem very strong. That's the, I'm not closing any doors. Also, how many doors are open at this moment from the other side of things? Here's what Gilmore said about where he sits in his career, etc. I'm being patient right now. I feel good. Year 13, been playing a long time. So I'm just being patient and waiting for the right opportunity. I don't think there's much of a market right now for him. I think coming off the injury is a factor. He definitely lost a step last year. Dallas found ways to work around that, but there were many times last year when he had to follow a receiver across the formation on an in or a drag or whatever. Didn't quite have the same juice he once had. I'm a little surprised someone like Washington didn't show more interest. Carolina's had some semblance of interest, but that might be more from Jadeveon Clowney's standpoint. So as long as he's unsigned, the door does technically remain open. So what do you think is the percent chance Stephon Gilmore re-signs with the Dallas Cowboys? I think it's still a low number, but this is a great opportunity for you guys to flood the comment section with your answers. Some news I want to get into, and positive surprises is what I would call here. Denzel Daxon, the UDFA out of Illinois, turns out he is an International Player Pathway Program player. That was not the case until the NFL kind of expanded it after the Cowboys picked him up. Great article on Cowboys.com kind of breaking him down. Will McClay revealing when they signed him, he was just a regular 90-man roster addition. Now he's not. He gets the free practice squad spot, so you get 17 practice squad players if you keep Daxon, and an additional 90-man roster spot. Now that bonus goes away if he's on the 53, but given his production or lack thereof at Illinois, this is kind of like Isaac Alarcon. This is a free practice squad player that costs you $500,000, give or take, to just keep on your roster and barely impact your salary cap. So it's a no-brainer for Dallas to give Daxon extra time. So he will be on your practice squad unless he is just the worst football player ever. I highly doubt that because he's not. And then the Cowboys will be able to give him extra time to grow, extra time to develop and learn, and see where things go beyond that. Now, it is time for our mailbag here at the Cowboys Report. 2 ways to get on the show. Hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. I will make note, there are a lot of super thanks we'll get to as part of today's show. So if you want to get on for sure, might have to Super Chat. We had a bunch of them coming over the weekend, which I appreciate, by the way. This is the Super Chat menu for today's live show as well. Any super is a shout-out guaranteed. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong, or a tortilla slap. We'll price those as the same, and you guys can pick which one you want to do. If you want to do all of it, it's $100 for the bong slap shot combo, which I think could be pretty fun there. So again, 2 paths to getting on the show here. Super Chat, and Stone will find your question, bring it up on screen, or just use hashtag Cowboys. That puts you in the queue, but you are at the mercy of producer Stone picking your question and bringing it up on a screen. So again, the menu here, $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong, or a tortilla slap, and $100 for the bong, slap, and shot combo. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. It is a mailbag led by several super thanks on today's show. From Braden, what's your prediction on what the Cowboys do for their quarterback room next year? And if we sign somebody else, or draft someone, or keep someone, or have to make a trade? Great question. I don't know. The Cowboys can leak whatever they want to leak about, we believe in Dak, blah, blah, blah. Or hey, he's got to take less, but we want him, which okay, you're trying to make it seem like it's not your fault. You screwed up 4 years ago. That's why we're in this place. 5 years ago, I guess you want to be technical about it. I don't know what they're going to do. Check in again on September 1st, or I guess 11th, whatever, 10th, 9th, and have a better feel. Quarterback might not be on the roster. Hell, you could have an entirely new quarterback room next year. That is an option on the table for Dallas. Braden also forgot to say Happy Father's Day to you. Of course, Braden's comment, or super thanks, I should say, came in on Sunday, which I appreciate there very much, Braden. What you're seeing to begin today's live show are super thanks. It is a feature here on YouTube that allows you to donate just like you would on a live show, except on demand. You click the thanks icon, edit your message, send whatever amount you want, whatever message you want to send as well, even if it's Tom, you suck, that's fine. Every super thanks, we will give you a shout out for. From Johnny No Pulse, a $5 super thanks. Thank you, Johnny. This might just be hopium. I think it'd be a very Jerry-style win to get Dak and CD deals done, maybe even Micah, all together when they're in Oxnard, have a big press conference with the future of the franchise, and in Dak's case, they want for the foreseeable future. Look, I think there is hopium, if we're being honest there, which is fine. It's June. You get to have hopium. That is okay. It is legal. They also could have done this months ago and done the exact same thing. You know? They could have done that in February. February 25th. We signed both guys. I just think that they are hesitant to pay people because they don't know how to manage their money properly, and they want to wait and let leaves fall. I think they'll do a deal during camp, if not beforehand. I think the Lamb deal should be done by the time they report to Oxnard, or I'm going to be pretty damn disappointed. But Dak and Micah might be hopium. From Skeptical Fan, the Dallas Cowboys will win their 6th Super Bowl in 2035. Like 11 years, I got to wait, which I don't really want to do in terms of the wait there. So I hope it comes sooner. I don't want to wait as long for that to have a hassle, of such a long wait and all that frustration. I hope it's sooner. It might not be. So prediction time with the pinned comment of today's video. What year will the Cowboys win another Super Bowl? Is it, 2035? Is it sooner? Is it later? Go vote, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. From Mr. Man, what's a more problematic, Tom? The run defense, penalties, or the running game? Much love to you and your family. Thank you, my friend. Right back at you. I thought a long time about this one. The answer is a little bit of everything, right? In the end, I went with the penalties because that has impacted all 3 phases of the game. It's hurt you on offense, it's hurt you on defense, and on special teams. And it's really tough to win games if your run defense is bad, if the penalties are a nightmare, and or if the ground game is bad. So I'm not trying to be dismissive of those things. And playoff-wise, we've seen all 3 things hurt you. But having 100 yards in penalties, as this Cowboys team has had several times, that is really hard to overcome. If your passing offense is great, you can overcome a bad ground game. Offense and great as overall, the defense can overcome. It's not the easiest thing to be able to handle. So I went with penalties. All 3 are very, very valid, though. From Scott, let's be honest. This is about the next Cowboys head coach. It will be Zimmer. This is a Jerry Jones move, 100%. Get him in the building for a year to get acquainted with Parsons, Diggs, and Bland. And again, Jerry Jones doesn't do real head coaches anymore. I agree. That's the last part. The Cowboys haven't done a real head coaching search since Wade Phillips. It has been that long since they did a real head coaching search. It's been almost 20 years now. So it's such a ridiculous time frame to have. They need to have more, an actual search. To an extent, hire somebody, do a real search, because you'll get a better head coach than just interviewing 2 guys and hiring somebody. I am worried it'll be Zimmer, and that'd be very uninspiring if the Cowboys actually did pursue that path. Who will be the Cowboys head coach in 2025? You saw Scott predict Mike Zimmer. Who do you think it ends up being? Let me know in the comment section of today's show. From Crazy Saints, could Deuce Vaughn pull off being a slot receiver? If this is we're now making Deuce Vaughn a full-time slot receiver, it's not going to work. It's not going to be good enough. They have to do more than that. He's not a full-time slot. Now, if you give him the occasional slot receiver rep, remember the Pollard's getting slot receiver stuff. That's how I envision this. We'll just give him some reps there to help him as a pass catcher. That's a different conversation. But full-time slot, I don't think he has the skills for it. From Tyler, can you explain the NFL International Player Pathway Program, how those players don't count towards actual spots at the 3-man roster / practice squad? So in the offseason, they don't count against the 90-man roster. If they are on the 53, they do count. I think the Commanders did that last year with a tight end, if I recall correctly. The practice squad, though, is a freebie. The whole purpose of that is to grow the game. You're adding a player who hasn't played football for a very long time. They're international guys. Sometimes they're Canadian. Sometimes they're all across the world, of trying to give those guys some extra time to grow and expand the game. Most of these guys don't end up working out more often than not, but it is just a rule for the NFL that gives them freebies. And they rotate the normal player pathway guys so everyone gets a shot to do it. They just expanded it a little bit to include guys like Daxon after the NFL draft and even UDFA process. Now, if you guys like our Cowboys mailbags, thank you. Make sure you are subscribed. That is the only way to be featured on a Cowboys Report mailbag, is to subscribe and tune in here on the show. Michael Clark, listen, anyone speaking against Dak is a fool. I'll be here at the end of the season. I will be here before and after and during all the seasons. So, again, make sure you guys are subscribed. I get the general frustration with Dak because fair or not, he's the quarterback, and all of the frustration for the offense gets thrown on him. It's kind of like I still think back to two moments for both of these things, like Romo getting blamed for the Broncos' loss. He played great in that game. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Dak still gets blamed, and Romo still gets blamed to this day, for the Jags' loss. He hit Noah Brown in the hands on 4th and 1. It's not the quarterback's fault at all. But the quarterback gets all the blame, and maybe even too much of the credit as well. I'm just going to go with Yeet Yeet. Do you think the Cowboys' Madden wins will translate to the regular season this coming year? No. No correlation. There will be some overlap, but it's Madden. It's not exactly realistic. They beat the Niners. That's not going to happen. From Nate, Dak Prescott replacement, Mike McCarthy replacement, Jerry Jones replacement. The quarterback one, I have no idea. The head coaching one, they'll look at Mike Zimmer, they'll do something weird and look at Jason Witten or something ridiculous. My ideal one would be Ben Johnson. And then I probably wouldn't change that much of the roster, frankly, because I think Ben Johnson can be really good at it. I think Dak's better than Jared Goff. Look at what he's got out of Jared Goff, right? Jerry Jones' replacement is obvious. It's me. That's the best path for Dallas, by the way. From Baylor, is Osa Odigizua about to break out and get paid somewhere else? Wouldn't surprise me. Did you guys see what the defensive tackle market did this year? Skyrocketed. Now, the one big thing for Osa, we've seen flashes of very good play. The consistency has not been very good. It has not been a promising angle in terms of stability, always being good, always having impacts. He has never been the most reliable year-over-year player. He has had down moments, especially in the back half of seasons. He has not been consistent. He starts the year hot. He's kind of gotten some Tank Lawrence in him, where he ends up being able to produce great against the Giants. But the back half of years, he tends to fade away. He tends to not be reliable and consistent later on as the years go on. He has kind of struggled in that area. So I'm hopeful, but I'm not paying him right now because I need to see more consistency into November, December, and later. So will Osa Odigizua have a Pro Bowl caliber season? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Tyler, if money wasn't a problem, how much longer do you think Martin and Tank Lawrence have left in the tank? And could Bass Nalen have immediate impact to replace them? If money wasn't a problem, I think Martin, probably give him as long as he wants. He's a Hall of Famer. But I think you're looking at 2 to 3 years max for Zach Martin. Tank Lawrence, it's a tougher question for me. He's not that old. He just turned 32 years old. For reference, Zach Martin is, let me double check, is going to be 34. So I think you're maxing out at 5 years. Tank, that's probably pushing it on the high end. Funny to use Tank there, by the way, for DeMarcus Lawrence. So TBD on that front. But I think that both those guys might be in the final year of the deal. Instant impact, Bass and Nealon could do it. It'd be a downgrade. You're hoping 2-3 years from now, there's not a massive one. Bass will never be as good as Zach Martin was in his prime, though. And Nealon probably won't be as good as Tank was in his prime. But you're paying way, way less. Nate has his solution to the replacement stuff. Sanders is a coach. Draft Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders, Jerry Jones replacement. Jerry Jones replacement is still me. I have zero desire to hire Deion Sanders as my head coach. I think that's actually a terrible idea. This organization is already kind of too much of a circus. It's kind of ugly. It gets out of control sometimes. You add Deion Sanders to that, who allegedly made, I still wonder if it was a satire because it was almost too extreme, allegedly made all of his players go to Lil Wayne's concert because Shadur was opening for them, and they had to support Shadur's rap career. Red flags everywhere. My quarterback wants to be a rapper. Don't know about that one. Didn't work too well with Kelvin Joseph. Cole Beasley fell off after he dropped 80 Stings, which was a good song, by the way. That scares me. And getting Hunter and Shadur, if those guys are good enough to want them, They're going to be top 10 picks. I think Hunter's going to be a stud, by the way. I think he's going to be a star. Shedeur has talent, but I think adding Deion and Shedeur, especially Deion as head coach, you can talk into the players once they get away from the Neon Deion cycle. I'm just kind of scared of that one. Jerry's replacement, though, is still me. Help me get rid of all the in-bio bots in my Twitter DMs. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowning. Let's go back to this one here. Name a Cowboys legend for me, as I'm going to sip some water here. Cowboys legends in the comment section. Again, these are players who are not actually good. These are players who once played for the Cowboys, like Randy White, way too good. You know? Tyrone Crawford, maybe too good. Picking somebody else that wasn't a very good player. Ryan Switzer, you got it. Who I thought was going to be really good. I really liked him coming out of North Carolina. Big L for me. Patrick Watkins, that one works there too, Scott. Just players who once played for the Cowboys. Kai Forbath. You guys remember him? Yeah, everyone was convinced he was the next Dan Bill, and then he kind of flamed out. Not everyone, but Dan Campbell. Good answer, Roy. Good answer. Doug Free is almost too good, but close up. Chad Hutchinson. Nailed it. Kellen Moore. Jason Garrett's also great. Forget about his playing career. Michael Jackson, that's a good one too. That's the Seahawks corner these days. Barry Church, Joseph Randall, Vinny Testaverde works. I think Dan Bailey was too good. Danny White was too good. Sean Lee was too good. Jeff Heath, maybe almost too good. He's kind of a unique one, I suppose. This is the Super Chat menu on today's show. Then we'll get to Chris B's Super Chat. Any Super Chat is a shout-out. $20 for a shot. Nobody's done one yet. So we'll do the first 20 is 2 shots. First 20 is 2 shots. $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap. You get to choose which one you'd rather have on that front. If you want to do the shot, bong, and tortilla slap, that one is $100. So you get the shot for free there. You get them all for the $100 specialty menu item of the day. From Chris B. You know what sucks is knowing that if McCarthy doesn't get fired, I have no confidence in picking a new coach and not a retread. Rather keep Mike McCarthy, honestly. I get it. I am very worried they will be even worse. Like that they will hire a bad coach. Remember, they interviewed McCarthy and Marvin Lewis last time and then gave the job to Jason Garrett before that and kept him for what felt like a century, even though it was only a decade. Like, I get a little bit anxious about them picking a new head coach. That's why I am desperate for a real search. Because if you do a real search, you have the chance of somebody impressing you. And, going, oh, Jerry goes, this is a good coach. What I don't want is them to interview like 4 candidates. Like that, if they do that, it means it's a sham search. And they're picking their guy in mind. Also $5 from Zeno saying, since Super Bowls are all that matter, these are the 5 best quarterbacks playing currently. Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Rodgers, Joe Flacco, and Matthew Stafford. Flacco's elite, so there you go. In general, I think we as a sports, discourse conversation have kind of gotten a little bit over our skis with making it rings or everything. They are the most important thing, and I think that's a very valid conversation for who's the best. Mahomes, who's a Hall of Famer. Wilson, Rodgers, I don't think Flacco gets in. Stafford probably gets in because of the ring. Think about it this way. Eli Manning was not a great quarterback. I don't care that he won 2 Super Bowls. Great. Doesn't mean he was a superstar player. He wasn't an elite football player, but he did win two titles, and that matters. It's a team stat right there. Flacco got carried by his defense. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino did not. Can you use it as tiebreakers as part of the conversation? Absolutely. And what Zeno is really saying here is a point I've made before. We don't equally apply the different standards, right? Some guys, we count the stats way more highly and ignore it for others. Some guys, we go, but they've been bad in the playoffs and ignore all the other quarterbacks and that. Like, for example, I think we would all agree, I'll go on a rant here, I don't really care. We would all agree, Cowboys have to have more playoff success. The quarterback, Dak Prescott, has to be better in the playoffs. I saw someone use an argument of, hey, he's top 10 fringe over the last couple years in playoff stats, therefore he's terrible. And I go, no, we can't, that's disingenuous. We need more from the playoffs. You can't just discount the other 50 quarterbacks that have played over the last 5 years and say, well, he's 10th out of 13, therefore he's bad. We already took out all the bad quarterbacks. Use it as to why he's not top 5, absolutely. But to use it as, well, therefore he's actually, bottom 10%, no. Can't just ignore everything else. It has to be a whole picture viewpoint. And I think sometimes you just condense it down to one or two things and arbitrarily pick what those one or two things end up being. All right, rant over. We'll go back to the rest of the show. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We're breaking down some Cowboys cut candidates with minicamp over, training camp still a month and a half-ish away. Before we get to, I got 5 names I want to break down here. The goal on today's show is to beat the last month's high of 20 shares. I think we can do that. Heck, if you tweet it 20 different times by yourself, we'll actually beat it just like that. It's kind of cheating, but it's fine. So share today's video, Twitter, Facebook, text to a friend, whatever. First up on the Cowboys cut candidate list is Cooper Rush, and I don't think this would be a surprise. What I think might be a surprise is how you'd be able to kind of manipulate things as it relates to Cooper Rush potentially being a cut candidate. Look, Cooper Rush, as we all know, is fighting for the quarterback 2 job. And to an extent, it's almost less about what he does or doesn't do and what Trey Lance does or does not do. Now, because Rush is a vested veteran, he can actually be cut and go right to the practice squad if he's on board with that plan. He does not have to clear waivers. So Dallas could keep Trey Lance and put Cooper Rush as the 3rd quarterback. And you're going, Tom, but do you want the 3rd quarterback on the roster for game days, right? Not so fast, my friends. The NFL has changed the 3rd quarterback rule. It now can come from the practice squad to be that emergency quarterback who can be active. There are unlimited elevations as parts of that. You don't, not just 3 times, it's as many as you want if you're the emergency QB. It does count, though, as one of your 2 call-ups. So if you want to stash someone on your roster, Ryan Flournoy, who you're worried about getting through waivers, you would rather cut Rush. Put him on the practice squad, say, hey, you're going to be our 3rd QB, and you're still going to get your game day checks as well. The Cowboys would save money in the process, by the way. $2.86 million cap hit for Cooper Rush this year. They would save $2.25 million in savings if they were to cut him, which would kind of be canceled out mostly by the game day checks, but it's not like you're going to lose one like you would do if you cut Trey Lance. Rush has been a steady bus driver when he has been asked to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He's not going to turn them over that much. He's not nearly as accurate as Dak Prescott because the big plays aren't as big, but he's been able to stabilize and do the job of a low-end backup quarterback. And there's value in that, by the way. But the ceiling is limited. There was a reason why he was a free agent, and there was 0 starting interest whatsoever. Trey Lance was a former 3rd overall pick. What this backup quarterback battle comes down to is how good does Lance look? If Lance struggles, Dallas is not going to cut Cooper Rush. They will keep him because they need him as the backup. If Trey Lance looks okay, that's a tougher conversation to have then. And if Trey Lance plays well, it starts to make a lot of sense, don't it? So who will be quarterback 2 for the Dallas Cowboys? TL for Trey Lance, CR for Cooper Rush. Go ahead and vote for me at the pinned comment of today's video. You should know what that means by now. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in TL or CR. From Peyton Hendershot, or I should say Peyton Hendershot is next up here. This one also probably wouldn't be much of a surprise. I got a couple surprise names we'll get to hear in a little bit. Hendershot's production has been, for a UDFA, pretty decent. 15 catches, 141 yards, 2 scores. Battled some injuries the last couple years into camp this year. And he very much is on the roster bubble. In fact, Had John Stephens been healthy and not torn his ACL, pretty good chance they would have put him on the active roster over Peyton Hendershot. They're not going to cut Schoonmaker. Doesn't make sense after just 1 year, as bad as it was. Brevin Spann-Ford can block. Your tight end 3 normally blocks a lot. Princeton fan has gotten a lot of work with this Cowboys organization and offers special teams value. Hendershot's got to showcase what he's able to do. By the way, you lose $5,000 in salary cap space if you cut him versus the guarantees. Under $1 million cap hit, you save all but $5K of that. So it's $5K in dead money. I am sure Jerry spent that in one night at Nick and Sam's by himself. So I am not concerned, about the $5K dead cap hit. That's just the cost of doing business. So when the Cowboys cut players, which probably get a couple cuts in camp, happens every now and then. I wish they shuffled the back of the roster a little bit more, but that's just me. And of course, during roster cutdown time, we'll have a video for you. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now. Next up is Chuma Edoga, and I don't think he's fully guaranteed a roster spot. Doesn't mean he is likely to make it. I think he is likely to make it, but he's got to earn it still. It is not a lock. Edoga played some last year, 420. Nice. Didn't play well. There were multiple times a game. It's just like, what are you doing, Chuma? He just screwed up the blocking assignment and didn't block the only guy he was supposed to block, or got blown by off the snap. It was ugly at times because he's Chuma Edoga, right? He's a low-end backup. Here's the path for Edoga not making the roster, right? Tyler Guyton starts day one. Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele are your other starters. TJ Bass has to make this team as far as I'm concerned. Brock Hoffman has to make this team with the way with his coaching staff likes him. All right? So there's 7 guys. I think your 8th guy could very well be Nathan Thomas. The Cowboys like him. He was a draft pick. They like to try to get draft picks on the roster. That leaves 1 tackle, maybe 2, between Matt Waletzko, Awesome Richards, who was also a 5th-round pick. We shouldn't overlook him. Thomas is not guaranteed a spot, so you've got 7 guys, I think, locked in. That's 2 to 3 spots. Might not be Edoga if one of those young tackles, namely Richards and Waletzko, end up, emerging looking like better than what they've been in recent years. At some point, they're going to hit on one of those late-round picks, right? Along the offensive line. There isn't as much cap savings if the Cowboys cut Edoga, but he's not guaranteed a spot either necessarily. $1.15 million cap hit, they'd save just under $500,000. It's not a lot, but it's not enough that would persuade the Dallas Cowboys from having to keep Edoga if the young guys look better. So prediction time. Does Chuma Edoga make the Cowboys roster this season? Y for yes, N for no. Where else but in the comments section of today's video. So head down there, type in Y for yes, N for no. Chauncey Golston is next up here. D-E, D-T, D-L. It's kind of all over the place there. Golston, as a 3rd-round pick, really hasn't lived up to expectations. The production's been pretty middling. There's special teams value. There's position flex, sure. As we get into year 4, it's kind of put up or shut up time in terms of being able to impress. Now, the one thing that might help him is there's no defensive tackles that are good on this roster beyond Osa Odigizua. We'll see about Mozzie Smith, right? Junior Falco's been getting some run at defensive tackle. What if the Cowboys view Golston as a defensive end and Falco as kind of the hybrid guy? They could keep Parsons, Tank, and Williams and Nealand and Fehoko and add a DT and get that number to 4 or 5, and then maybe Golston's on the outside. The only reason he's on this list, I don't know how Mike Zimmer feels about him. And for a guy in the last year of his contract, Zim will get some control over who makes this roster along the defensive line. So it is a prove-it year for Chauncey Golston, who I would keep because I don't have enough defensive linemen on the roster. $1.56 million cap hit, by the way, for Golston. $1.33 million in terms of savings if you cut him. So name a player who you think ends up getting cut. Try to go for the bigger names. We don't think Cam Johnson's going to make this team probably. We don't think Nate Pete's going to make this roster. So pick a player that's a bigger name that you could see getting cut. Israel Mukuamu is next up here. And again, this is cornerback, defensive back, safety. Very similar vibes for Golston, a player I like, by the way, in Izzy. I thought he played great in that Bucs playoff game. What is he? He hasn't played that much. The game's played high. The production's kind of low because he hasn't played very much, but didn't get beat very much. It was almost one game, and he played well in that game, and he can do safety, can do corner. I think his best spot is at corner in the end. I do. That's where I would want to play him. You have no guaranteed money left on his deal, basically. You save all but $30,000 if you cut him. So $1.09 million cap hit, $1.06 million in savings. Nothing that guarantees you a roster spot from a contract perspective. So if we think he's a corner, which I kind of do, there's going to be a roster battle there to make that team. Diggs, Bland, Lewis are locks. Kalen Carson I'd probably put in the lock category as well. There's 4. Let's pretend C.J. Goodwin is a core special teamer, probably against the other practice squad anyway. So you get 5 to 6, right? Sean Wright, Eric Scott, Israel Mukuamu, Josh Butler. Pick those guys. Not a lock. And if he's at safety, or maybe you keep him as your super sub DB, Hooker, Wilson, Bell, Wanye Thomas should make this team. Are they going to carry 5 safeties? They carried 5 previously and more because they were using 3 safeties at almost every play. They're not going to use as much nickel or big nickel and big dime as they did previously. So Mukuamu's going to have to earn a roster spot. Now, if you shared today's video already, do me a favor, help me give you some love by typing me in the comments section of today's show. The Super Chat menu here. Any Super Chat is a shout-out. One from Kyle Donovan coming in here momentarily. $20 is a shot. The first 20 that comes in is 2 shots. The beer bong is a 50, or 50 gets you a tortilla slap. If you want all 3, the shot, bong, slap combo, it is $100. $5 Super Chat from Kyle Donovan. You think Trevor's contract impacts Dak's leverage? I don't think there's a huge impact because these are all things we've said before, right? The quarterback market only goes up. I am a big Trevor Lawrence fan. Any argument you try to make in favor of Trevor Lawrence, like it kind of becomes the same for Dak. Like, oh, the film is really good. Yeah, so is Dak's. Yeah, there's no stats argument. You try to make the anti-playoff argument. It's like, that's kind of bad for Lawrence too. And in fact, it's even worse, for being honest. There's 5 interceptions and some fumbles. He got more turnovers and touchdowns. It's not good. It comes down to, does Dak want to maximize his earnings? And will the Cowboys be the one who pays him that? Because he's gonna get massive money. I've been trying to say that for a long time now, and people kept arguing, well, someone told me Trevor Lawrence was gonna get Baker money. I'm like, no, he's not. He's never gonna get Baker money. He got $55 million. Here's my bigger concerns. What happens when Tua gets paid, and what happens when Jordan Love gets paid? Because those guys have also good arguments to get as much, if not more, than Trevor Lawrence. It kind of becomes, you can either pay the market rate, beg your quarterback to take less when you've kind of not been super supportive of him, and play that card. Another super chat we'll get to in a minute, by the way. Or just don't play the game at all. But then you don't have a quarterback. You got to figure that out too, which you can do, and you should have done that a year ago or this offseason, and not try to do it next year. It's not going to be as good. Abja Pawar, despite last year's playoff game, the Cowboys still need to let Dak keep doing and not become conservative. Dak is the reason they make the playoffs. I don't disagree. I would say these slow starts in big games are a problem. I think we would all agree with that. It's also not just the quarterback. The ground game is yet to show up in a playoff game in years here. It's a big-time red flag for me. The defense is inconsistent in playoff games at best. You know? I mean, the offense did eventually wake up against Green Bay. It was too little too late. But even if they had played better, it would have required an all-time game from Prescott to win. Because that defense never showed up. Dak gets blamed, absolutely. So does the defense. It doesn't have to be it's all Dak's fault, it's none of Dak's fault. It's both. Both, right? Time now for this week's Cowboys, or say one of this week's Cowboys Sims. It is the Cowboys at the Atlanta Falcons. We are now in week 9 of the Madden Sims here at the Cowboys Report. The Cowboys are 6-1. Their bye has already happened. Atlanta has not yet gotten to their bye. So who you got in this one? By the way, Falcons are 4-4 in the Madden Sim season so far. C for the Cowboys, F for the Falcons. Let me know in the comments section of today's video. If you haven't watched these previously, the Cowboys rattled off 4 straight wins to begin the season. They beat the Browns, the Saints, the Ravens, the Giants. The Saints game featured a doinked field goal with seconds left that kind of kept them alive and the Cowboys to win that game. The Steelers game I still think was rigged against Dallas. They handled business against the Lions and proved the Niners. The Maddens are realistic because they beat the 49ers, which is not going to happen in real life, especially in the regular season. The Madden schedule, then we got the Falcons this week and the Eagles this week as well. Texans, Commanders, Giants, and more still to come on that front, as we'll take this through the end of July. It'll be done before the actual preseason games get going. We are almost to the halfway point, by the way. Here are the NFC standings in the sim. The Niners, for now, are the 1 seed because they haven't had their bye. Dallas has the tiebreaker over the Niners and the Lions as the 3 seed and can add one to the Falcons at 4-4 because they lead the NFC South. Eagles, the top wildcard team, plus Arizona, plus the Rams, and the Bears are the first team on the outside looking in as well. So we'll get now to the sim of the Cowboys against the Falcons. Get your score predictions in for me in the comments section of today's show. As a reminder, as we get set for kickoff here, the first $20 super chat is 2 shots as opposed to it just being 1. The Falcons will take a kneel down, and it will be Falcons football here. That is Kirk Cousins, by the way, as the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. There's Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. It still shows the 2022 stats. I can't hard code it to change it. I wish Madden would update, but they're never going to. Oh, here it comes, Chris. You can see it. Here it comes. Come on, do it, Kirky. Here it is. There it is. Every animation they do that. It drives me insane. Just drives me insane. All right, 1st and 10. Cousins in the shotgun here. Bijan to his, it's a quick pass, out route, caught for a gain of 8. Drake London getting involved there. 2nd and 2 coming up. So we'll see what the Falcons offense can do on this drive. First 20 is 2 shots. 50s, you pick a beer bong or a tortilla slap. 100, you get all 3. Handoff to Bijan. Makes a man miss, spins, and gets the first down. They gave him forward progress on that one. Some similarities to the that Niners game where I was convinced he didn't get the first down. They gave it to him anyway. And it's fine. So 1st and 10, Falcons. A couple yards so far. Ball just outside the 35-yard line. Pistol set. Cousins drops back. Out route caught for a gain of 9. Kyle Pitts makes the catch there. Damone Clark in on the tackle. So 2nd and 1. From the 45, Cousins going to go under center. Bijan is the single back. Play action. Cousins has all day. Downfield, missed his man. Feel like that one should have been caught. Classic real-life animation of the DB celebrating when they did nothing involved to stop the play. I think that was London who was open on a deep dig. So 3rd and 1 now from the 45-yard line. Cousins in the shotgun. Handoff to Bijan, a gaping hole off the left side, and Robinson picks up maybe 10. Huge hole on the left side of that line, and Bijan got a big pickup. So 1st and 10. Very realistic Cowboys run defense there. Cousins Under time, over the middle, incomplete, dangerous throw. Think that will go down as a pass breakup by DeMarvion Overshown. 2nd and 10 now for the Falcons. .424, I think, to go in the first quarter here. Cousins under center. Handoff to Bijan. Bijan up the middle is going to get 8. So 3 carries, 22 yards for Bijan Robinson. They gave the tackle to Eric Kendricks. Madman is right. The size of those holes on the ground are very unrealistic in Madden. It's an extreme version. I still don't think the player sizes are right on the field, by the way. Just me. 3rd and 2. Cousins, slant route. Caught. Drake London gets past the 30. Oh, no, he dropped it. 4th and 2. Incomplete. All right. Now, will they go for to kick a long field goal here? Looks like they're sending out Younghoe Koo. Oh, no, they're going to go for it because Madden's terrible. 4th and 2. Spam those 4s. Cousins. Wide open Bijan Robinson, who also juked the living shit out of Jordan Lewis. Absolutely juked him. 1st down, Falcons. Just a flat route to Bijan. 4th and 2, and there's nobody near him. So 1st and 10, Atlanta now. Cousins, handoff to Bijan. Bijan is going to get to about 5. Near the red zone here, a long opening drive for Atlanta. They picked up a big 4th down conversion. 2nd and 5. 3:10 to go now in the first quarter. Again, the first $20 super chat is 2 shots. Maybe we won't be drinking today. Cousins, all day. Got a man. He fell down, but got the first. Drake London had space to run. Turf Monster got him and pointed 1st down in the wrong direction. Did anyone else notice that? He was going this way and pointed like that. 1st and 10 from the 14. Cousins. Blitz coming home. Goes down. Overshown. A loss of 6. They dialed up a linebacker blitz, and DeMarvion Overshown came home free as Mike McCarthy calls in a defensive play. Falcons go tempo, it felt like there. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. 2nd and 16, Kirko Chains barking out signals. Pressure coming again. Bijan got the pass but fell down. So 3rd and 9. Kyle Pitts on what looked like an angle route. Had room to run but fell down. So 3rd and 9. Type in those 3s. Can they get off the field again? Force a field goal. They got 1 3rd down. The Falcons converted a 4th down after it. Cousins with time. Check down. Bijan runs over 1 defender. I think that was Israel Mukuamu out there. So I don't know why he'd be out there. Either way, Cowboys hold thanks to DeMarvion Overshown. So field goal time for Younghoe Koo. This is a 28-yarder, give or take. Field goal is up and good. I saw the point change. So 3-0. Falcons march down the field, convert a 4th down, and score. So 3-0. Atlanta leads the Dallas Cowboys early in this one. Kickoff set to get going here in just a moment. Minute 14 to go here in the first quarter. Remember, Atlanta got the ball to start today's game. Kevontae Turpin back deep for the return. Koo's kick is away. Turpin will field that at the goal line and bring it out to the 10, the 20, and gets stood up right there by Nate Ladman. And the Cowboys offense gets to come out there now. South Texas, right, that is not how kickoffs will look, but this is Madden 24, and they don't update jack. So it is different in this one. Again, the first $20 super that comes in is 2 shots, unless everyone's scared and doesn't want me to drink. It's fine. Then I'll have just a chill day. 1st and 10 for Prescott. Ball at the 21-yard line. Dowdle to his right. Prescott drops back to pass. Under some pressure, will throw across his body and find Dowdle for a gain of 2. Maybe a generous 2 there, by the way. 2nd and 8. $50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Prescott under center. Dowdle the single back. Prescott drops back. Quick one. Caught. Cooks is going to get stopped a yard shy. It's going to be a long yard, but 3rd and 1. They gave Cooks 7 on that one. Madden did make Mozzie fat again. So 3rd down, type in your 3s. Prescott in the shotgun. 2 tight ends left. Dowdle, the hand, or Dak on the keeper, doesn't get it. Why did he dance? Why didn't he give it to Rico? There was a gaping hole off the right side for Rico Dowdle, and Dak kept it for no reason. Spam R for rigged in the comments. End of the first quarter. Dallas trails 3-0 against the Atlanta Falcons. 9 yards of offense on 3 plays. Now, the Tyler Guyton rookie jersey is available over at chatsports.com/Guyton. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Guyton. It is the official Cowboys rookie jersey for the first-round pick and hopeful starter at left tackle. Again, it's chatsports.com/Guyton. Back to the action. Cowboys, Falcons here. Punt coming up from Brian Anger. Heels on his 20. Great punt to the 25. So solid field position flip as the Cowboys will take over, or the Falcons will take over on offense. No supers yet, huh? All right. Guess I won't be drinking or getting slapped in the face by a tortilla. It's fine. 1st and 10. Falcons football. Bijan the single back to begin the second quarter of real play. Kirko hands it off to Bijan. Bijan dancing is going to get 0 yards? I think he got yards on that one. That seemed like a crappy spot. 2nd and 10. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he got further than that, to be honest. All right, 2nd and 10. Cousins, hand off to Bijan. I guess ball don't lie. Bijan is loose to the 40. 6 carries, 40 yards. R. Swart says, Diggs pick this drive, I'll do 20. All right. I am now cheering for a Trayvon Diggs pick. That almost happened one of the other times this year, right, Chris, where someone said they do it, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Cousins in the shotgun. Drops back. Downfield. Got a man. London to midfield. Deron Bland makes the tackle, but it's a 1st down. Inside of 5 to go in the half. 1st and 10. Cousins in kind of a pistol offset here. He's got Bijan behind him, running back to his left. Hand off to Bijan. Bijan again picks up 6. Man, if I were the Falcons, I might not ever throw. You can also tell the difference in ratings. Bijan looks ridiculously more explosive than Rico does. 2nd and 4. Just inside the 44. Just outside the 43. 4:08 to go. Cousins again barking out signals. I-form set. Drops back to pass. Has time. Check down. Bijan doesn't get it. 3rd and 1. Eric Kendricks laid the lumber. Type in those 3s. MG says Zeke's a no-show. Yeah, because I made Zeke the backup. Rico's the starter. By the way, Rico Dowdle this year is averaging 6.3 yards per carry in the Madden Sims. He's at 546 yards on 87 carries. Kirko chains, 3rd and 1, swing pass, Bijan. There's nobody over there, and he gets it. Twice now they've converted short yardage plays because nobody goes with Bijan in the flat. Damn shame. 1st and 10. We are now just outside of 3 minutes to go. Cousins drops back, or hands off to Bijan. Bijan's loose, 25, and gets spun down outside the 20. Oh, boy. Bijan is just eating in this one. You got to keep feeding him. 1st and 10 from the 21. Cousins, play action pass. Over the middle. Oh, he dropped the pick! Was that Diggs? No, it was Bland. Right into Ron Bland's hands. Deron Bland had it and he dropped it. It was almost the R.S. Wort 14 Diggs pick. It would have been to Bland. Cousins hands off to Bijan. There's a flag on the play. A flag. It's the 5th flag of the season. And it's the first non-flag on the Cowboys. We've had 4 flags all year long. Every single one of them has been on the Cowboys until now. We did turn down penalties. 2nd and 19. Cousins. All day. Downfield. Got a man inside the 5. Darnell Mooney picks up 27. So a dropped interception, then a holding penalty, and then Kirko Chains finds Mooney inside the 5. Why is DeMarvion Overshown guarding Darnell Mooney? How does that make any sense? 1st and goal, and we are almost to the 2-minute warning. Falcons could take a 2-score lead here. They need 3 yards. Cousins, handoff, or play action. Has time. End zone. Oh, he missed him. He had Kyle Pitts open in the corner and did not connect. Also, I guess Madden never updated the coaching staff because it's still Arthur Smith as the Falcons head coach. Guess the rosters don't update coaches. It's kind of funny. 2nd and goal. Cousins, handoff. Algier does not get it. They got no yards. Bijan has been eating all game long, and they gave it to Tyler Algier on that play. 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal from the 3. Falcons up 3-0. Heavy personnel. 1 receiver right. Bijan back in the game. Bijan, handoff. Nothing there. It's blown up. Timeout Dallas, 1:58 to go. 4th and goal. Younghoe Koo on the field. Type in those 4s. Oh, the Falcons offense now back out there. They will go for it on 4th and goal. I think Overshown made that play. I'm not sure. It was no gain. Cousins. Time. End zone. Missed him. Incomplete. He looked open. I kind of feel like that ball should have been caught. Tough to tell from the angle. The Falcons turn it over, and now Dallas, instead of potentially being down 2 scores, have a chance to go tie this game up or better. 1st and 10. I just did the thing, by the way. From the 3, so Dallas backed up deep in their own territory here. Prescott drops back, finds Lamb. He gets 5. Clock will run. That is the 4th play of the game for the Cowboys. We're inside of the 2-minute warning. That is what happens when we do Madden Sims or 6-minute quarters. 2nd and 5, minute 33 to go here in the quarter and half. Prescott drops back to pass. Takes a shot downfield, missed him. Kind of feel like the same play there on the London throw where like the target looks like it's close to the intended man, and it kind of feels like Madden said it's going to be an incomplete pass. And rather than miss by a lot, he misses by, nothing, and the receiver does not catch it. So 3rd and 5. Do you run it and burn a timeout? Do you go for a first down? Prescott, downfield, Ferguson, past the 30, did not get out of bounds, though. The clock will run. Gain of 26 or 27 for Fergie. Prescott had him wide open, perfect throw over the defender's shoulder. Inside of a minute now. Prescott drops back, has some time, a lot of it, downfield, got a man again, diving catch made, Ferguson again, first down Dallas, clock will run, you got to go no huddle, Our S-Word says they'll go Aubrey field goal for 20, and it's looking good now. Clock has bled way too much though, it's classic bad Madden Mike clock management. Quads left for Prescott. Pressure coming. Flush to his right. Resets, throws. Caught. Wide open. Cooks past the 30. Dallas calls a timeout. They're in field goal range. 19 seconds left on this drive. Or this half. First and 10. Dallas has 1 timeout left. This is where they get like 7 yards and let the clock go down to 4 seconds and call timeout, have to kick an extra point or kick a field goal and then do the kickoff too. Prescott over the middle, caught by Lamb. He gets 7, and the clock is going to run. I don't know if he actually got 7. I feel like he got more like 3, but there you go. Cowboys will call it. They did it again. Every end of clock management goes just like this. They bleed all this clock. They don't manage it very well because the offense is out there with 4 seconds left. It's going to be Brandon Aubrey for a field goal. Like, we all know it's happening. Wow, he teleported on the field. This is a 38-yard try. Left hash, online, good. Aubrey delivers, and the Cowboys are tied up at 3 with the Falcons. So 3 yards away from being down 10-0 at the inside of the 2-minute warning to tied at 3-3, and there is 1 second left. Again, how is it so poorly coded that this is what happens? That there's time left when there would never be time left, ever. Just bad coding. So 3-3. Here's the kickoff from Aubrey, a high pooch kick. Brought out and to the 25 and not much. Remember the time the opposite almost took it to the house last week or whatever that was? Yeah. Halftime, 3-3. Again, folks, you can get the Tyler Guyton rookie jersey over at chatsports.com/Guyton. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Guyton. It is the official rookie jersey of the Cowboys' first round pick. Now, this is today's super chat menu. Any super chat is a shout out. $20 is a shot. $50 is a beer bong or a tortilla slap. We haven't had one yet. So, we did get the first 20 from our S-Word 14. We'll get to his in a minute here. The first 50 will give you a beer bong and a tortilla slap. You get all 3 for 100, by the way. Here's the 20-piece from our S-Word 14. Who's paid first, Lamb or Dak? I think it's CeeDee Lamb. And if Lamb doesn't get paid by the start of training camp, I think it's organizational malpractice. It might already be organizational malpractice with the way the Cowboys have handled things from a contract perspective. It hasn't been a very good job, but I think Lamb gets paid first. Dak will get paid. By whom? I don't know. You're going to get a lot of money when he gets paid too. Even a team-friendly deal for Dak Prescott right now is $55 million. That's team-friendly. Legitimately, it is. Because he could get more on the open market. We'll see how it all plays out. But R. Stewart, thank you very much, my friend. First of 2 Super Chats coming up. Or shots, I should say, coming up. As kickoff underway in the Falcons-Cowboys game as well for the second half. Cheers. Turpin brings it out and dances to about the 20. So not great. As I owe one more shot. Why is it Nealon playing? 100 from Anthony McMillan! Who else but Anthony? Everyone spam AM in the comment section. We'll run a play and break down Anthony's Super Chats here. First, a shot. Full house handoff to Rico Dowdle. He gets a yard on that one. Everyone spam AM in the comment section. $100 Super Chat from Anthony McMillan coming through. By the way, the beer bong for Anthony, it's like this is like all these the star logos. They're like half Anthony. It's insanity. All right, we need the slaps. Let me do the shot first to take the sting away. We'll do shot, beer bong, shot, slap, beer bong. How about that order? Let's awkwardly hold that. Anthony McMillan does it again. The items you want, Anthony, should arrive this weekend, I think. I got the shipping somewhere. All right, Chris is getting the tortillas here. So go full screen here, Stone. Full screen me so Chris can slap me. Just one. Just one. Go full screen here for the slap, then the beer bong, and then back to the action. Fun times here. Bring back on Executive Producer Day. Today, I should say, Chris. Now, you know the rules. It has to be a good one. Has to be a good one. We set the precedent. We did. Good one. Thank God that. It's a good one if it rips. Yeah, I'm glad that that can was closed, or else that would have gone flying and just made a mess everywhere. All right, beer bong. Beer bong time. Out of 10, if for the slap hardness there. If that other one from last week was a 10. Troll answer is 6.9. Real answer is probably like a, 7.4. Of the 4 we've done this year, it was definitely number 2, though. All right, beer bong coming up. Ooh, spilled everywhere. Here we go. Woo! Or hard Mountain Dew seltzer bomb, but beer bong flows better. All right. Keep spamming AM in the comments for Anthony McMillan, the MVP again today. Prescott in the shotgun. And they're going to bark out all kinds of play movement here. Deuce Vaughn, by the way, is in the game. On 2nd and 9, Prescott finds Tolbert, who spins and gets a first down. First down, Dallas. Tolbert, a 13-yard catch. First and 10. Dowdle is the single back to the left. Prescott drops back, has time, downfield. Got him, man. It's Tolbert again. Prescott, 9 of 10 for 116 yards. Cowboys have 1 yard on the ground, by the way. So a dart to Tolbert past midfield. Prescott in the shotgun. Deuce Vaughn to his right. Trips left. Dallas has not led today. Hand off to Deuce Vaughn, who's going to get 3. Spam Smol in the comments. SMOL. Deuce Vaughn even shoved the defender. He looks so tiny because he is. 2nd and 7. Deuce Vaughn stays in the game at midfield. Prescott drops back. Seam shot. Caught again. It's Lamb. Cedarian Lamb with a first down pickup. Gut bomber, I agree. I don't know how Deuce Vaughn got 3 yards there. Sure as hell did not look like he got 3. 1st and 10. Empty personnel. Deuce Vaughn out wide. Prescott. Quick one. Caught again by Lamb for 3. There is now in the third quarter, 3:33 to go. We're tied at 3-3 after a 3-yard gain. So I guess spam 3. Second and 7. Prescott has time. Finds Lamb over the middle on a drag. Made a man miss inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. 12 of 13 now for Prescott. Three minutes to go in the third quarter. Deuce Vaughn in the game to the left of Prescott. It's a pass play. Prescott finds Vaughn. He picks up 6 on that one. Look at our little guy go. R. Stewart says Zeke TD for 100. Zeke is the goal line back in the game, although it's been very inconsistent about how they do it. Very inconsistent. It's Madden being Madden. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Dowdle inside the 5. Spins down to the 3. They're going to put Zeke in? Spam Zeke if you want Zeke to score here. 1st and goal. It's Dowdle as the single back because they got 3 receivers out there. Dowdle handoff, and he just scampers in untouched. Touchdown, Dallas. But it was not Zeke Elliott. It was Rico Dowdle instead, who caps off the scoring drive. Type in those TDs. That was easy for Dallas. March down the field. Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton combo block opened up a truck the size, or the whole size of a Ram truck. Easy pickings there. So Dallas takes their first lead of the day with 1:57 to go in the third quarter. And that one is good. 10-3. Dallas leads Atlanta. 1:57 now, and Atlanta's offense has to get going. They've moved the ball really well. A field goal scoring drive they got in the red zone. They got the ball down to the 3 and then failed on 4th down. Bijan's been cooking. If they're smart, they won't go away from Bijan Robinson. So Ray McLeod back to return this kick. He's wearing 34. It's incredibly ugly. And that's not a great return short of the 20. First and 10, Falcons football. Did Kirk just do that thing and I missed it? Yeah, I did. Shotgun set here. Handoff. Bijan doesn't get much. Good run defense there. Second and 8. Cousins almost picked. Jordan Lewis jumped the route and could not come down with it. Oh, that was dangerously close to a pick six. DaRon Bland houses that one last year. Oh, so close. Cousins on 3rd and 8. Out route. First down. Terrible tackling effort. Where have I seen that before? From the Cowboys defense, they get the first. It's Rondale Moore. 3 guys right there to stop him short of the sticks, and they cannot bring him down. 2 guys whiff. Kendricks falls off him. First down, Falcons here. 1:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Cousins in the shotgun. Bijan behind him. Offset pistol. Hand off to Bijan. Bijan breaks a tackle, drags a defender, and gets 9. Tank Lawrence finally got him down there, but it's a big gain from the Falcons. 2nd and 1. A $2 super chat from Zeno saying, how has Stephon Gilmore not been signed by anyone? We'll get on screen here in a second. As Bijan hands it off. Flag on the play. It's going to be holding again? 2 flags against the Falcons in this one. I think they were both on Kyle Pitts. Or maybe Lindstrom in the first one. 2 flags. The only 2 flags all year not against the Cowboys. Now it is 2nd and 11. Incomplete. It's now 3rd and 11. Type in those 3s on 3rd down. Third and 11. Cousins all day. Now under pressure, throws it. Oh, it's incomplete. Felt like that should have been a fumble. 4th down coming up here, but first, the super chat from Zeno saying $2. How has Stephon Gilmore not been signed by anyone? Age and injury, coming off the injury, I think are the main factors there. I am a bit surprised he's unsigned. I bet he gets signed somewhere closer to camp. I don't think his market's been very strong. Might not be as well regarded by other teams, I should say. So 4th and 11 coming up here, back to the game. The Falcons will punt. It's away. Turpin at his own 23-yard line to the 30 and gets stood up at about the 33. So likely the final play here of the 3rd quarter. Then it's the 4th quarter of action. Dallas up 10-3. Prescott in the shotgun. 2 tight ends right, 2 receivers left. Handoff, Dowdle up the middle. Dowdle bounces it wide past midfield to about the 44. A huge run for Dowdle. That will take us down inside of into the 4th quarter, I should say. You can get the Tyler Guyton rookie jersey. Some great block on that last play by Guyton over at chatsports.com/Guyton. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Guyton. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It is the official Tyler Guyton rookie jersey. Again, link in the comments and the description of today's show. So 4th quarter set to begin. Type in your 4s here. Dallas up 10-3. From the 45.5-ish. As they change the play call together. They flip sides. 3 receivers left. Deuce Vaughn in the game. Prescott, quick one to Cooks. Picks up 6. Prescott, 15 of 16 today. Highly unrealistic for any quarterback ever. Second and 4. From the 40. Dowdle checks back in. Teleporting handoff to Dowdle gets the first down. Everyone saw that, right? That handoff did not get to Rico Dowdle. It did not get there. So 1st and 10. Prescott has all day, finds Lamb to the 30, a gain of 5. Second and 5 coming up here. From the 30, Prescott going to go empty. Drops back to pass. Downfield, got him in. It's Cooks who fumbles it. Tolbert fumbles it, but he got out of bounds first, and now he's dead. He's frozen on the sidelines. Tolbert, a little corner route, caught the pass, got his feet in bounds, 1, 2, 3, then fumbled. We'll see if we go to review or not, but it's 1st and goal, Dallas here. From the 4, Deuce Vaughn in the game, handoff, and Vaughn loses a yard. Probably would not try to run. I mean, there wasn't great blocking there anyway. Might not have been the play had gone there. R. Stewart, last try, Zeke for 100. It's Dowdle in the game. They got the fullback in, and it's still Dowdle. And Dowdle is going to get in. Never been more disappointed by no Zeke touchdown than that one for R. Stewart. Dowdle scores. Dallas is up 17-3, assuming they make this extra point. I mean, that was easy running for Rico there. It happens. How do you want to pronounce your username, by the way? I never said R. Stewart, which is definitely not right. RS word? That's what I'm going to call it. Extra point time now for Aubrey. That one is good. 17-3. The Cowboys lead the Falcons. 4:08 to go. That's our S word. Okay, there we go. I'll try to not screw that up in the future. Thank you, my friend. Kickoff coming up here. Dallas has 17 unanswered against the Falcons. There's Zeke because for some reason he's on special teams in this game. Make that make sense. Italian Cowboy calling a pick 6 here. Oh, I'd love it. Kick is away from Aubrey. Brought out by Ray McLeod. McLeod gets the 22. 20 for a shot, 50 for a beer bong, or a tortilla slap. Dealer's choice, 100 for all three of them, like Anthony McMillan did earlier, the MVP. It is crazy, Marky, but Madden does. They also put Tolbert on special teams, too, which I don't know if he's going to play if he's the receiver 3, but we'll see. Kirk did the thing, too. So 1st and 10, Atlanta now has to throw the football despite their ground game being so successful. Cousins, quick pass to Pitts. Pitts picks up 9. Second and 1, there's 3.5 to go. 3.5-ish, I should say. Second and 1, Bijan the single back. Cousins has time. Downfield, wide open, Pitts. Feels like the Cowboys playing prevent defense again, boys. Don't like it. First and 10. Cousins, under pressure, throws it downfield. Got a man wide open, Drake London. No, he didn't get his feet in. I thought he caught that. He was wide open downfield for a massive gain. Wow. And now London's flustered. Little arrow over his head. Falcons changing the play call with 3:09 to go. Incomplete on the bomb to London. And now they go over the middle, and it's caught somehow by Kyle Pitts, who got rocked by Marquise Bell. First and 10. We're inside of 2:45 to play now in the ball game. Cowboys up by 10. Cousins downfield. Got a man. Caught. It's Rondale Moore. This is where you need the pass rush or the secondary to make a play and put this game on ice. You need a stop here. R.S. Wirt, 100 for a hooker pick. Sounds dirty. Cousins dropped. Maybe for the best, it'll save 15 seconds. 2nd and 10. From the 25, 2:15 to go. Cousins drops back. Has all day. Finds Pitts past the 20, the 10. He's out of bounds at the 5-ish. 2:09 to go, 1st and goal. Micah, make a play. Micah, by the way, in the Sims has 11 sacks already this year. How about one more right now? Cousins in the shotgun. Has time. Now under pressure. Here comes Micah. It's a sack. There you go, Micah. 12 on the season. Right on cue. 2-minute warning. 2nd and goal from the 19. Cousins. Incomplete. 3rd and goal from the 19. They have to go for it. It's 4-down territory. They're down by 14 with a fired coach already there. I don't know why it's still, that's kind of funny. 3rd and goal. Cousins drops back to pass. End zone shot caught at the 3 or the 2. 4th and goal. They targeted Hooker. There was the pick chance too. Fourth and goal from the 2, 1:53 to go. Cousins barking out signals. Goal line set for Dallas. Bijan, it's a quick pass, wide open Pitts. Jesus. So the Falcons, despite being in 3rd and goal from the 19, have given themselves life. They have all 3 timeouts. This to make it a 7-point game with 1:51 to go. It's up, and it is good, 17-10. Just wide open on the goal line twice. 1:51 left. They have all 3 timeouts. They might just kick this one off. Onside's in play too. They're just going to kick it off. So you got to kick it out of the end zone, though, to save that time. They didn't. Turpin brings it out, and Turpin gets the 22. It did shave off a couple seconds there. So 1st and 10. Go run here and see where you're at on 3rd down. Gonna do it. There it is. 1st and 10 Cowboys. There's 1:48 to go. Prescott has 1 incompletion all game, by the way. Dowdle's capped off drives, but he's carried the offense. Prescott handoff. Dowdle in protect the ball mode. Picks up 3. 2nd and 7. Get the first down and get out of here. Minute 45 to go. Handoff to Dowdle, who gets a yard, and now it's 3rd and 6. Third and 6 coming up here. Cowboys up by 7. They're going to run or throw it here. Prescott in the shotgun. 1:42 to play. A first down ices it. Prescott drops back to pass. Over the middle. Caught. First down Cooks. That's going to ice it. Dak delivers to Brandon Cooks, and the Cowboys will win. Dak Prescott had 1 incompletion all game. What a strike to Cooks. Right over the linebacker and corner's head. They are in kneel down formation, but Madden gets really wonky here sometimes. Let's keep an eye on them doing something stupid. First kneel down. 2nd and 11. 1.5 minutes to play. The Cowboys can kneel and go home. They're now going to run the football. Why? Why? This is so dumb. You just have to kneel. Why are they doing this? And they took a delay of game penalty. What is this? Madden is so dumb. They just had to kneel 3 times. What are they doing? Now they're going to kneel again. Madden is so dumb. I didn't tell who was on his ass on that play, but somebody went spinning on the ground. All right, just kneel it here. Don't run a play. Just kneel it. Jesus Christ. 3rd and 17. They're going to kneel it, and that will be ball game. A delay of game penalty, so we're 5-2 on flags this year or something. What is going on? It's just ridiculousness. There's Arthur Smith, the fired coach. They brought out the punt team, by the way, to do that, by the way. Did you guys notice that? The punt team was out there. Chris says something funny happens here. Arthur Smith with the laziest spike of his... after the game has been decided for like 5 minutes. That is hilarious. Cowboys win 17-10. Who was the Week 9 MVP? Anthony McMillan exempted there. Who won it? Let me know in the comments. I'm giving it to Dak Prescott, by the way. He was like 18 of 19 for 211 yards. Unrealistically perfect in that game. Truly. Bijan would have won off with the Falcons if they had not, run the ball more. Who was the Week 9 MVP? Let me know in the comments section right now. Give some shout-outs here. I see Dak, Bijan, Dak, Pete and Lil Dallas Cowboy are still arguing with each other. Convinced that Lil Dallas Cowboy is actually Jeremy. But by the way, you will never... I'm convinced that it is Chugs. I'm convinced. The only person I've seen love Cooper Rush as much. Who was the Week 9 MVP? A lot of Dak. I think that's right. 18 of 19 for 211. Woo! Unrealistic for the best of all the best quarterbacks. We will have more Cowboys video for you guys every single day here on the Cowboys Report. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Back live again on Thursday for more Cowboys coverage and another Madden Sim.